we grow up in like a environment that's so curated. You know, if you went to a public school system, you were in a class of people who were exactly your age, and then you formed like kind of the standard little cliques that happened.
Turns out they're just as hard. I actually don't need to be enlightened. I'm so good.
Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of Sessions for the Soul.
Yes, welcome. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah. Time is just like going by so quick. I can't believe it's almost March, kind of like.
I know.
What?
It's crazy. I was thinking, I was walking through like just grocery shopping the other day, and there's like all things Easter and spring, and like we're not quite into spring yet, but it feels like we're so close.
I know.
And I'm kind of excited about it.
Me too. I love the spring. It's honestly like such a refreshing time of year.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really refreshing. I just like spent the last week I was like in California doing a little pilgrimage, like medicine retreat minus medicine. Turns out they're just as hard without the medicine. Actually, at one point I was like, the drugs take the edge off. Oh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like on this hike and I literally was like, I actually don't need to be enlightened. I'm so good.
Yeah.
I was like, I actually don't have to do this. Why am I doing this? I came back around, of course, but like down there, everything's blossoming, like blossoms on trees. It was so beautiful.
Yeah.
And that just had me like so excited for the next, especially like spring around here can be so, it's really beautiful.
It is. Yeah. The cherry blossoms are blossoming. Like, you know, that we had some really beautiful days. It's a fun time of year. Everything's like coming back to life, which is amazing and maybe symbolic for, you know,
us,
our internal landscape.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
I love it. Are we going to do an I said what I said?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. Do you want to?
Yeah, I'll take it away. Okay. So this one, we'll see. We'll see how this is received. Not every romantic relationship has to be like super serious. You don't always have to be dating somebody that you're going to marry. Mm-hmm. And I think that this can be like a controversial opinion for multiple reasons. One being like cultural, religious, like personal aspects. But I just think it's so important to like, especially in the modern world, it's important to like have room to like have something that's like, you know, can be like really beautiful and like light and fun. And also like knowing that maybe like it's serving a purpose, but not necessarily like I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this person or whatever. Sure. And I think that's also really important for people who have like maybe only had traumatizing relationships, or like don't have a lot of proof of like what they do like or enjoy, or like haven't like had the opportunity of falling in love, like, you know, in a healthy way.
Absolutely. Like giving you the opportunity to see like what's possible in terms of a healthy relationship. Would you say that like a caveat to that is you should state your like intention, or no?
Oh, 100%. If you're not stating your intention, you're a fuckboy.
Yeah.
And I don't care if you're a girl or not. That's like fuckboy energy. 100%. You have to like with transparency and communication.
Yeah, I see.
Because if you're like giving somebody the premise, like if you're like stringing someone along and not communicating, like, hey, this isn't going anywhere, or like you know, or at least having conversations around like fundamental differences, like what you both want out of life and a long-term relationship, etc., or like saying like, hey, this is where I'm at in life right now, like I want to be transparent with you and like this is what I have to offer. If you're not being transparent about that, that's manipulation, and that's also like bad juju, like that's bad karma.
It's also just like kind of mean.
No,
like,
that's horrible.
Do that to someone.
No, 100%. Thank you for asking that question, because this is so important. I'm not out here giving you guys a permission slip to be shitty. Oh my God. No, have conversations. But like if you both are able to have that conversation and be like, oh yeah, like totally understand. I know where we're at. And you both want to proceed at that moment with like dating, laughing, having fun, enjoying each other, etc. Like
And
That's
it's just like a
beautiful.
consensual, fun relationship.
Right. And
Yeah.
also, like, I will insert this caveat as well. We actually don't know what's going to happen. Like, you could fall in
Yeah.
love with this
Yeah,
person.
that's true. That's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, you could also not.
That's also a possibility.
I just feel like I need to state that. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my I said what I said is just like it doesn't always have to be that deep.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree with that. Obviously, I'm not in that situation, but I think
Totally.
from the outside, I could see that, and I can think of people too who have like been looking for a life partner, and in that process have dated multiple people at a time, even of like short periods of
Yeah, yeah,
time, but
yeah.
to like really just get a feel for like
Who
what's
they
there
are.
and if, yeah, who you're connecting with, who might be a good fit. Like I think that's fine. And I do think like being transparent, like you said, that seems like, maybe a really important piece in all of this.
I think that's the most important
Yeah.
piece in any relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because like that's like and being able to be real with yourself is like a big part of that because I think some people are like, "Oh, I don't know what I want. Oh, I'm not sure. Like I don't know if I want this. I don't know if I want that." Then you should not be dating.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like I said what I said. If you don't know what you want, you should not be dating.
Yeah.
Um
Get clarity on that.
because that's not fair. Like
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Okay. That was a good one.
Thank
Love
you.
that. Okay, well, my I said what I said is it is cheaper financially to eat healthy than to eat, ultra processed foods or fast food or going out all the time or whatever it is for you to just like get the quick food that might seem cheaper or, that
Right.
I feel like that's thrown around a lot of like, oh, it's so expensive to eat healthy. And it's like, I don't know. Like you can eat really healthy on a really, really tight budget.
Absolutely. I love that you're saying this. I think you and I have had this conversation before.
Yeah.
But like my grocery bill doesn't get crazy until I'm like buying a bunch of packaged processed food.
Oh yeah.
And then it's like
Yeah, same.
not that I'm like doing that a lot, but there are those times where it's like, oh, like whether it's like holiday shopping is a great example. Like
Uh-huh.
when you're like prepping for like the holidays.
Yeah.
Um, granted that's like fucking expensive anyways,
Yeah.
but like going and buying like all these like packaged things to like make stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa,
It gets really expensive.
it
Yeah.
does. But when you're like buying ingredients
Hmm.
and like,
It's like I'm thinking of like things that we eat that are just like so something we've been eating a lot lately actually is like chicken drumsticks, organic drumsticks from Costco, and it's like $12 or something, and it feeds Adam and I for 2 meals.
yeah,
And that's 4 meals for $12, and then you use those bones and make bone broth from them, which is also very cheap to do. And that's just one little example of like this is a real food
yeah,
and it's an organic option if you want to, go that route too. And, like, I don't know, rice, lentils, like those things, if you're trying to get like bulk food, that's also, pretty good for you. That's not, ultra processed. Like there are options. I just get so irritated sometimes when I'm like, it's not that expensive to eat healthy. The trade-off, I guess, is that you do have to spend more time like making and prepping the food. But to me, that's like always worth it.
oh,
Always.
absolutely. That what came to mind when you were talking about this is it's not convenient. It's like less
No.
convenient
Yes.
to like live that way and eat that way. But I think that's the trade-off people make, right? Like it's convenience
Yeah.
versus and like it's financially it costs more, but like
Mhm.
it costs less time. And so it's like, oh well, I just want something easy and ready to eat, which I
Yeah.
totally understand. No disrespect to anybody who's like,
Yeah. So
but also
just acknowledging the reality of it.
right, right,
Yeah.
right. But also like longevity, like sustainability, like internal health, etc. Like there's so many
Hmm.
factors. Yeah, no, it totally makes sense
Yeah.
to I totally agree. When I go to the grocery store and I'm just like grabbing like things to like make
Hmm.
meals, like I sweet potatoes can be kind of expensive sometimes. I eat a lot
It's
of
like a $5 bag from Costco for 10, or
oh, I
sorry, for
love that.
10 pounds or something
I know
like
I
that.
haven't been to Costco in so
Okay,
long.
Costco's it for like
I know
some like bulk health
and
foods.
I love their vegetables and
Yeah.
their fruit and vegetables are oh my god, their figs. Are you kidding me?
Mm,
Yum. But
yeah.
I I have been buying them at the co-op.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where it gets a little tricky.
No,
I do love
no.
the co-op though, but yes.
No, I love the co-op.
Yes.
It does get a little pricey when I'm buying
Yeah.
my sweet potatoes there, but and I do eat a lot of sweet potatoes. So worth it to me.
Yeah.
But guess what? Like it takes me like an hour and a half to make sweet potato hash. And that's
Yeah.
not a fucking joke. I
No,
wish it were.
No, I fully understand.
And I make so much of it because I don't want to be back in that position for
Yeah.
like a whole week
Yeah.
or so. I just made sweet potato hash yesterday.
So good.
So good. Love it.
Yeah.
And
No, but that's the thing is like finding meals where you're like, this is an easy, like a easy button meal for me to like make. I'm gonna invest the hour and a half, make it, and maybe freeze like some portions to like cook, later this week.
yes,
And it's so easy.
it's so easy. And you know what? I kind of actually love that time. It's therapeutic for me. I actually love cooking when it's like I'm cooking something nourishing that feels really good for my body.
Yeah.
Like because I'm like a food allergy girly, like sometimes the quick fix, like I feel like shit afterward. Like I'm so sick for days.
Oh God. We went out of town this weekend and we've been eating like super well. I've been really mindful of what I'm eating just for my health recently. Yeah. And so, but this weekend, it gets challenging to do that when you're away. And there's a part of me that's like, oh, but like we're on vacation. It's just a day. And it's both of us, like we're not used to like eating out at restaurants. We're not used to like, getting just like snacky things.
Yeah.
And you end up just feeling like so bloated and like just kind of yucky,
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know if people just like feel like that all the time, maybe, or their body's just used to eating a different way. I'm not really sure, but
I think I
hate it.
I know I hate it too. I think it's both. Like for years, I didn't know how bad I felt until I like ate really, really clean. And then I went back to the food and I was like, oh my gosh. And I don't think a lot of people are aware of like how much better they could feel.
Yeah.
And it takes dedication. It takes like, like to really like, like doing AIP or something like that. It takes like weeks to get to the point where your body is like actually healed. Your gut is healed. Things are regulated. And then when you bring something back in, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that does not feel good in my body. Yeah. No, honestly, I love it. Yeah, I love that. I think that was a great one. And you know what? Like raising awareness around, I know like we've had this conversation before and one of the like things we talked about is like it's the myth of like it's cheaper to buy packaged food or whatever. And then also like education is a big piece of it.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. And also like these days it's so easy, like if you want to like find health foods on a budget, like Google that. Pinterest, I'm sure,
I was
just
going to say
inspiration, like
Pinterest.
Yeah, love Pinterest.
Girl, I was on Pinterest this morning recipeing up for the week. I'm about to go make curry. I'm so excited.
Ooh, I love it so much.
Yes.
Very fun. Well, today we're going to be talking about the loneliness epidemic, which how fun. How fun. As adults, we're all just so lonely. I think it's like, it's been a while since I looked it up, but I think it's like around 50%, give or take, of adults in the US feel lonely. And that's sad. Sad. And it also like doesn't feel super surprising. So
no,
I feel like if you're listening, chances are you probably relate to
some of this. Yeah. Or like an element of it. Absolutely. Loneliness is crazy because I actually think, like it's really common and it's something we all kind of carry at different times in different phases of life. But in a world that's like so seemingly connected, we're actually all, I think, dealing with this. And there's like so many elements and I'm so excited to like dive into this. Yeah, we should just like, we'll just start. So one of the things that's like an element of this that we wanted to talk about is like how we're more connected, but we're less supported. And I think that that's such an important part of this because like seemingly, right, like we are connected. We have social media. We have these cell phones in our pockets. Like we literally can call anybody at any time, yet in a way, like we're all kind of isolated. And I think that one of the elements of this is that like one of the things we were talking about is like this stuff is so readily available for us. It almost like loses its like we are like almost disconnected from the value of it in like the world on tap, like in a world of convenience, like talking about food and stuff. This is relative because in a way I feel like it loses its meaning. Like in, 20 years ago, and like even 20 years ago is a stretch because people had cell phones by then.
Gosh, yeah.
I know. We're getting old. But like when we were really little, right? Or in the 90s, which I guess is when we were really little. I'm just aging us. Oh my God. But like to go make a phone call, right? You had to like go find a landline. You had to have a phone.
Yeah.
Or you had to like write someone a letter, and that took intention and that took thought and that took like actually like it wasn't convenient. It took going out of your way to like connect with somebody.
Yeah.
You couldn't just like be on the go. Or texting. God, I feel like texting has like destroyed our culture.
Yeah.
Because like we don't actually have conversations. We just like type.
Yeah.
And like, yes, I know that that's like a huge way we connect, and like it's powerful and it's helpful. Like, hey, I love to text because I don't want to pick up the phone and call people all the time.
Yeah.
But I love a phone call. And I think that this is just kind of like an element where we can kind of look at how, we are more connected but less supported, and how like support, calling a friend when you're like crying or struggling or like something happened and you want to tell them, or sharing exciting news or hard news or whatever, like those things, that's support. Like that's how we shared and distributed information. And it's shifted so much in 20 years,
It has. Yeah. When you were talking about the landline, I was also thinking about how in order to like message someone, like before we had cell phones, and we were probably too young for cell phones at this point, but it was like I need to log onto the computer to like instant message or whatever. Was it called MSN or
it was like what was it called? MSN, like I don't remember.
Maybe just instant message.
Girl, I haven't been on there in so long.
But we would like message, somebody. I don't know if we would ever message or
we
like
did.
Message a boy or like whatever, and then it's like you have to wait for them to then log onto the computer, and like it was a whole different system, of like exchanging conversation. And picking up the landline to call your friend, and it's a totally different way of connecting, and it does almost lose meaning in some ways when it's like you can just send a text at any time. Or I did this just yesterday. My sister called and I missed the call because I did not have my phone on me at that point. I was doing something else. And then I saw the missed call and I was like, I'll call her back later. I think I know what she's calling about. And so it like wasn't a sense of urgency because it was like, I just know that it's going to be so easy to reach out, and I have all these other notifications, and like it's so different these days, and it almost feels weird, to pick up the phone sometimes to just be like, hey, how's it going? How are you?
No, I know. But you know what? Like a phone call is so nourishing.
Yeah.
I've been talking on the phone more recently, actually.
I love that.
With I've got a friend. We've been talking on the phone a lot. And
that's the cutest thing I've ever heard.
I know. We like just call each other all the time. It's so stupid and I love it. But I literally, I love it. And actually like, it's nourishing in a way because it's not like, in text messaging, like I think it's great for obviously certain things like we just talked about, but like there's this element of like, you kind of have to like put your own tone on it. Like you can interpret, so much is left for interpretation. This reminds me of how in high school, you guys, hold on, I'm sorry. In high school, like literally one day we had like an intervention at the lunch table about how I'm a mean texter. I don't know if you remember this, but you guys were like, you seemed like so pissed off. And I was like, what are you guys talking about? And you guys like literally told me about how like I don't punctuate. I never say LOL.
That's so funny.
Like all these things. And you guys were like, you were like the driest, like, cause you and I have always like back then we would call each other a lot.
Yeah.
And I feel like we totally were. I mean, I remember like when I couldn't get through to your house line, I would call the resort, and your mom would get so mad at me. She'd be like, Alicia, you guys can't call that phone anymore. So is Kayla there? Because I just wanted to talk to you.
Yeah.
But no, so funny. So I became like really aware that I guess I'm like just need to be nicer, or like punctuate and
That's
like
so funny. Yeah,
be-
there's so much like texting is hard because there's so much room for interpretation.
yeah.
And yeah, sometimes it does feel like you have to go like above and beyond to make sure someone knows. Like you put in the emojis and the LOLs and the whatever, you know? Um,
No, literally. By the way, you guys, Burke has been so good. I just took my shoes off and I knew this would happen. I need to have this.
did he even see you take your shoes
No, he
off?
just like got up, stretched, and walked on over.
He just sensed it.
He did. I do have to take this. Can I have it? Um, yeah. Brief pause. But yeah, exactly. Like there's so much for interpretation. And I think there's something really beautiful about just like having a conversation or chatting with somebody. And now we have things like FaceTime too, to where it's like you can like see the person. So in a way, like you'd think we're actually more connected, even though we're seemingly not.
Something you know who actually makes phone calls a decent amount is Adam.
Really?
And it's inspiring to me because even when it's something like between you and I'm like, I'll just send a text or I'll send like a voice
Voice note.
message.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
And same.
he, for some reason, is like, he'll call his cousins or a friend and that we went to school with, which is funny because it's like, wait, what? You guys like see each other never at this point. But we'll just talk on the phone sometimes. And I am inspired. So maybe this will inspire other people as well to just like pick up the phone.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hope it does because like it's so beautiful to just have a conversation. But no, I love that. And I think like I don't know, like I think about like when I would call like I call my mom a lot.
Yeah.
That's someone I talk to on the phone with. Um like decently because I don't know, I maybe it's like generationally I'm reading her. Same with my grandma. Like when I talk to her, occasionally we'll text. But when I text her, it's like amazing because she's like doesn't know what's happening.
Your grandma.
Yeah. she's 83 or 84. Maybe she's 84. She just turned 84, I think. And it is amazing how she does not know how to work her cell phone.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yes.
But
that's so fun.
So I like when I get a text from her, I'm like, hold on.
Yeah.
Let me just call you. But no, I definitely think like it's these like little like ways of communication or community, you know, and like the meaning of like taking the intention, I think. It's like it's so much more intentional in a way. It's so interesting because some people are really better texters, like
yeah,
you know, and I get that. So no shade. But I think this is like a great like a segue into talking about friendship and adulthood and how like it evolves and how this like kind of has something to do with like how the loneliness epidemic, I guess.
It feels like the worst thing to have to make friends as an adult because it's like we grow up in like a environment that's so curated. You know, if you went to a public school system, you were in a class of people who were exactly your age, and then you formed like kind of the standard little cliques that happen, and you find your social group.
Absolutely.
And then maybe if you go to college or some sort of a like after high school experience, you kind of get a similar experience there. But that doesn't exist like elsewhere outside of those systems. And so then it's like you go into the workplace or you're just trying to find your footing in adulthood. And it's like, how the heck do I make friends? And it feels so awkward and hard and scary. And I think all of those things just make people really kind of hesitant to like even like do the scary thing and say like, hey, do you want to go grab a cup of coffee or do this thing together, you know, and take that risk, because it's like, ugh, is it worth it? Is it worth like, you know, all the anxiety of reaching out or like maybe not connecting with this person, or like, oh, I'm just so tired or so busy in life, I don't know if I have time to like maintain this friendship. So it's like, it's tough as an adult to make friends.
No, totally. And I feel like this is also like hitting on something of it has a different quality sometimes. Like, you know, maybe you make friends at work, but it just like doesn't quite feel the same as it once did. And so like I think that can kind of create these like feelings of longing or like reminiscing about the past, and then that can kind of like feed the grief or the loneliness of like maybe I have like friendships or like, but it's not like the same quality of like the friendships that like we had like in high school or childhood or even college. Like, and then that, that just kind of creates a little bit of that, like that grief. And I also think like when we change jobs, like, do those people stay in our lives? Like there's so many ways that it just evolves as an adult. And I mean, even from like childhood, how that evolves. Like you said, like, talking about like Adam and like we seemingly like don't see these people at all anymore, but like still like making that phone call. I actually think that's so sweet. And I love that. Like what? That's so cute. But also totally like touches on uh how it actually takes effort and it's not convenient sometimes to maintain friendships. And I think that that can be a big piece as to why we struggle to do this in adulthood. Like I get it. This is something I've been thinking about a lot recently because community is like showing up for me as something that I need, and like finding people who are interested in doing certain things or like having ceremony or like whatever, right? Like just cultivating a space to like actually connect in this way.
Yeah.
And it is like vulnerable and it's not convenient and it requires me to like get out of like my comforts and my like habits and my flow, right? And it's just interesting. And it also requires like vulnerability and
so much vulnerability. I remember a few years ago, I don't even remember who I was talking to about friends, but I was just kind of reflecting on how I didn't really have like a friend group, where I wasn't spending time with friends. Like it just wasn't part of my life. And I said, like, I don't have time for friends. Like I just don't have time for that in my life right now. And it felt very true at the time. And now it's interesting to reflect on that statement as a whole and just recognizing like friendship is so important. It's important to make time for it. It's important to recognize that it is going to take time, effort, energy, vulnerability to invest in building a relationship with somebody. And that's okay. Like it's worth it. Like the payoff or the benefit of investing that time is so much greater than like the perceived benefit of being like, I'm just not going to do it because it's like inconvenient, or I'm kind of anxious about it, or like I'm just so busy in my life that I can't prioritize connection with people. Like,
right.
That's
I think that that touches on something so important, like in this whole discussion about the busyness element of like I'm so busy, or like like the guilt that can come up of like, well, like my family, or like, oh well, what about like my partner, or like I need to be available for X, Y, and Z thing. And sometimes like it's like hard to enjoy going and connecting with friends because you're like mentally like being pulled elsewhere. And being able to like just kind of look at that and be like, well, wait a second, like why do I feel this guilt, or like is this like where's this coming from? Because community is so important. And now more than ever, like we actually need to like bring community back.
Yes.
We need to like kind of like break down the illusion of separation and like this like conflict we have everywhere. And we actually need to like come together and like come to these places and spaces and actually like build community, because that's how we like come back to like humanity, to ourselves, to empathy, to like all these things, and also to support. Like that's where we find, even if it's just like the silliest little things, I've a friend of mine the other day that I was chatting with, one of my friends from college, she was telling me about how she like went to a friend had a dinner party and they all played Mafia, and like literally were playing like this game from like childhood. And she was like, it was so fucking fun. And she's like, we're all in our 30s. And I was like,
so good to do that.
I love that. Like, absolutely. Or like, same friend, her and a group of girls that she knows and has met through like trying to intentionally build community. Get together once a week to watch this TV show. And she's like, I've already seen the TV show. I don't even care. It's so fun. It's so fun to just like go sit on my friend's couch, and her husband's like in the other room doing who knows what, while all of us just like sit there and have our snacks and like watch our show.
Cute.
And I was like, that is so wholesome and like speaks to like this piece I think sometimes we can get this idea that like it has to look like different than it did in high school or like when
Mm-hmm.
we were kids.
Yeah.
Cause, you know, like, yeah, we totally could hang out and just like watch a movie or watch a
Yeah.
show
Yeah. Just sit on the couch. Doesn't have
and
to
just
be
like
big
exist.
plans. Yeah.
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 It,
Absolutely.
yeah.
No, I love that. That's inspiring. And I love
Same.
that it's like the intentional effort of like, I'm trying to build friendships in my adult life. And that's what it has to be. It's like, I am trying to do this. I'm going to seek this out and put this on a schedule. Once a week, we're going to do this, or once every couple weeks, or whatever it is that like works for your life.
Yes.
And recognizing like you get to choose what you're making space for in your life. Like, and I understand, like, I can picture how exhausted and how busy I was in a different season of life where I think I don't even know if I had the capacity to even consider something like that.
Yeah.
But I think that's an invitation to figure out, like, are my priorities right here? Like, is
Mm-hmm.
this really the life that I want? Or do I want a life that I can create more space and have more capacity to like enjoy relationships and fun things and to be silly and like, like what am I prioritizing here? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's a good point too, that it doesn't have to like look a certain way. Like it can just be so casual,
Yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
perfectly fine.
No, I love that. And it kind of reminds me too of like one, it is inspiring. It actually like has me thinking about like, okay, like what are these spaces? Like, because I think sometimes we put the pressure on ourselves too of like, well, like I need community that supports me like in this like spiritual element or in this like there almost has to be like some greater reason, but it's like no, actually just like there's no greater reason that we have when we're kids when we get together and have community and friendship.
Mm-hmm.
It's just literally like, do you want to play together?
Yeah.
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 And so why is that so different in adulthood?
Yeah.
And then also kind of like thinking about how friendship is cultivated as kids, right? Like we meet people like you said, like in classrooms and sports, like there's an environment that like kind of facilitates that. And what
Mm-hmm.
environments are facilitating that in adulthood?
Mm-hmm.
And like, what does that look like, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we talk about third spaces? I've heard this a few times, and this came up just when we were planning for today's episode. So if you're not familiar with, with this term, you're not alone. But the concept of like first place being home, second place being like your workplace, which unfortunately now is remote for a lot of people. So that's like a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
But the third place concept is like your other place that kind of feels like home, that's like your community. And so for a lot of people, that might look like a place of worship. It could be like a community center. It could be maybe you have like a volunteer gig that you love and you're like there consistently. Maybe it's a yoga studio, a gym, a library. I don't know, just like other
Coffee
places,
shops.
coffee shops.
Yes.
Yeah. Like where are you going to actually like hang out with people or to just be in the presence of other people?
Yeah. And like connect. And I feel like those are places that are opportunities to connect.
Yeah.
And I actually love this like term third spaces.
Mm-hmm.
And it has me thinking about like how actually well one like the whole thing is like the discussion we're having here is like how these spaces are disappearing
Mm-hmm.
and also like in a way they're kind of limited
Mm-hmm.
for like they're kind of like limited to specific niches in a way like
Mm-hmm.
you know maybe you're like or let me just form a fucking thought here what maybe you're in a community that's like more rural like ours and so like
Yeah.
what do those third spaces look like and
Uh-huh.
what's like actually available to you
Yeah.
that's hard
Mm-hmm.
um or in a city it's like okay I can go this place or this place but it's like a really specific type of person's going to be there
Yeah. Or
and
maybe it costs money, right? So it's like it's having to work through like the barriers of and
yeah
not letting those barriers like stop you from doing it all together.
totally or like finding the place that like feels really supportive and good
Yeah.
um
Mm-hmm.
for that like
Yeah.
there are definitely like spaces okay for example shout out to like one of my favorite places on the peninsula
Mm-hmm.
I go into a specific place multiple times a week not because I need anything
Mm-hmm.
because I absolutely fucking love these people and adore them
Mm.
and literally when I walk in the door, I'm like, what's up, you guys? And they're like, what's up? And we just like chat
Yeah,
for,
I love
and
that.
honestly, like I so want to be friends. And then like I wouldn't say we're not friends because we like talk about literally our lives. Like
Yeah.
they know everything fucking about me.
Yeah.
Not literally, but kind of.
Yeah.
And like vice versa. Like we talk about parenting, we talk about like what's up. Like, oh my God, this week's been just fucking like one
Yeah.
day, it was so funny. One day my mom and I walked in and they were like, what's up? And the woman that works there was like said something to my mom and she was like, how are you? And my mom was like, I'm fucking, and just like melted onto the counter, and we all just like started laughing, and she's like, tell me about it, and like just unpacked, right?
Yeah.
And in a way, like that's actually like a form of community, but like how do we transfer that out of this like specific like,
Mm-hmm.
in a way, like they're at work,
Right.
like they're working, how do we like cultivate these like vibes
Yeah.
elsewhere, and like what does that look like? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm so curious what that, honestly, this is such an inspiring episode for myself.
No, same. It's a big it's hard to do. Last year, one of my goals was like to try and cultivate more community, more connections, and I did, make some efforts in doing that, and it's easy for me to like make an effort or like make a reach for that and then to kind of like
Be like, okay,
shit.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And
And
so
same.
yeah. And there's a lot of like I've been trying to just kind of keep an eye out for different things in our own local community too, of like opportunities to connect with people or to like be in similar spaces with people who might have the same interests as me, or to just explore these options, like free or low cost things. And that's something too, like these things are available. You just have to kind of look for them. And one of the things that I love doing is looking at like community boards or like bulletin boards
Yes.
and just finding like a few businesses that have really good community boards is so valuable, because when you have like all the flyers and all the things in front of you, instead of having to like,
Go seek it out.
yeah, go seek it out. Like that's going to be so hard. But yeah, just seeing like what's going on in the community and then actually committing to like
Going.
going to that thing is really big. Yeah.
I love that. Every time I like go look at certain, there's a few community boards. I'm sure like we have the same
Yeah.
ones in mind for
Sure.
sure. But it's actually so cool and inspiring to be like, oh, like I love that someone's doing that,
I
or
love, yes.
like,
Yes.
oh, that's like a great idea, or I would love to attend that, or whatever, right? And I love what you said about like it actually just takes like the commitment, like on our part, and the willingness to be like inconvenienced in a way, because it's like, yeah, it's not gonna like come. I used to joke all the time, be like, yeah, I haven't met the love of my life yet. And I was like, I also haven't left the house. I'm waiting for him to break into my home.
Yeah.
That's not going to
No.
happen. The same thing, like
Yeah.
with my building, like my spiritual practices, it's like, oh, well, I have been waiting for like spirit to like break into my house and be like, I'm here.
Yeah.
No, that's not how this works. Like I have to go like find that.
To be like
I have
an
to go
active participant.
yeah in it,
Yeah.
exactly. And yeah, this is actually like so inspiring me right now. One thing that was coming to mind, lol, this is so funny, but I was like, Alicia, are you gonna say this right now? I feel like you and I need to not just work together, because we work together a lot.
Yes.
But like this is something that I actually right now has come up. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
we need to just be friends. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Our
Just
relationship.
sit on the couch and watch.
No, I know. I'm
watch
like
the documentary together.
no, literally. Like
Yes.
we need to work less,
Yes.
play more.
I agree.
I
Yeah.
agree too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like 100%.
Yeah.
But then also like, and this segues into more of a work conversation, but you guys in real time get to watch us work this out. But like, is there a space like we can create that's like maybe like a book club, or like, I don't know. I'm not really a book club kind of girl. I haven't read, my reading abilities.
This is a really good point. It needs to make sense for like your
interests.
Like if we were to ever try and do a book club, it wouldn't, first of all, no one's reading the book.
Oh, absolutely. No, it's a social club.
It's that. Yes.
No, nobody's reading.
Like let's set realistic expectations.
No, that's what I'm saying. But like, what would our club be?
Yeah.
And should we create it?
Yes.
I don't know what it is. it's not a book club.
We talked about this too. I think it was maybe a few months ago. I think you were actually telling me about your friend who's, making efforts and all of this stuff with her own friendships. And we were both like, wow, a weekly commitment.
No, I know. And that is actually so true.
So we're just being real honest right now.
Maybe a monthly commitment.
Yeah.
And you just see how you're feeling that month. No, I'm just kidding. But like, it's so funny because I think the awareness of like how important this is, but then also the reality of like who we are.
Well, and I think that's it, is like knowing like who you are, what your desire is. Like if your desire for community and connection is, quite strong, then it's okay to maybe feel like maybe a little more tired because you're like committing to more things because you're trying to incorporate this more for a season.
Yeah.
Like, so just knowing like who you are, set the expectations of like, what this is going to bring for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. We should definitely do some stuff. Also, like taking advantage of the community events. Like there are sometimes when I see these events, I'm like, that would be so fun to go to. And then sometimes I get like,
you're like, but I don't, no. And same. Yeah. No, I feel like accountability, like having an accountability partner to be like, hey, we're gonna go do this, and like let's do it. Like both show up together. Like maybe that's what we could be for each other because same.
Yeah.
Like there was a writing workshop a couple weekends ago that I really wanted to go to at Sleeper.
Is it Women Who Write to Heal?
Yes.
Okay.
And I really wanted to go.
I haven't gone, but
I know. And shout out to them. I mean, hey, like I'm literally like, we know people.
Because this is an example of like a free community event.
And we fucking know the people who are facilitating it. Like,
yeah. So yeah, this is a good example. I love that we both knew about this.
And I was like, I could go, but I won't. And
yeah,
I'm just like speaking to this part of myself that's like,
no. And I know people listening can relate,
Oh, absolutely. It's like, well, and one of the things that we have on our list to talk about is like hobbies, right? Like finding like like I love writing. I literally love writing. And it's like something I've been trying to like get back into and like get in the flow and inspired to do for my own, like for me, not for like doing it online or like doing it as a coach. And that's been kind of hard to find my footing in that.
Yeah.
And like, that's an event that would like support that hobby. Right. Yeah. Or also as adults, I feel like it's hard to know what your hobbies are sometimes.
Yeah.
And so like it's interesting to like explore like where do we discover the hobbies we like?
Yeah. You just have to like
try shit.
Try it. Yeah. And be okay with like stumbling and looking silly or who knows,
Right. Or being like, well, that wasn't for me.
Yep.
But I like went and I was vulnerable and I did it. Or like being like, actually, that was really fun. I want to do that again. Yeah. Literally the number one reason I don't audition for plays is because around here is because like the time commitment. I'm like, you want me for fucking 3 months to show up for rehearsal every night?
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
No, to be honest, that sounds like a lot.
I know.
But if you love it.
And I love it.
Yeah.
So it's like,
then
what?
It's like feeding part of your soul.
No, I know. I mean? But then like what happens when I hit the night where I'm like, I literally don't want to fucking be here.
Yeah.
Which is inevitable. But I think that those are like blocks. Hey, that's a block I have to work through. If you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, no, these are all good. These are all really good points. And I think like exploring hobbies. Sorry, Burke found a squeaky toy.
The look on your face was priceless. If you're watching, I hope you guys saw just like the moment where Kayla was like, wait, what?
Holy smokes.
What is happening, Burke? Wow. He was really good in the other episode we recorded today. So like, we're really proud of him. And he's
like basking in the sun, just taking a little.
He looks so peaceful, like a baby.
Like a baby.
And then now, and he's back.
I don't remember what I was saying, but basically, it's good to explore hobbies. It's good to like figure it out and put yourself out there. And we are talking to ourselves right now on this topic.
No, literally, it's so funny. I feel like this episode was really unintentionally for us.
Yeah.
And it's funny because we like started this talking about like the loneliness epidemic, but really I feel like we just like dove into, which like all of this is part of that.
Yeah.
this is all relative to the loneliness epidemic, but also like in a way, like what this turned into is kind of like dissecting, I guess, like community and like what it means and how we like try to cultivate it, because really like
Yeah.
that's the greater like underlying thing in loneliness, I think, is like it's like how to have friends as an adult and how to like navigate this like
And how to like
weird,
build community.
yeah,
Yeah.
and what that even means.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I think if you're experiencing loneliness, then it's like it's assessing, like why might that be and what do I need to actually do about it?
No,
I'm
I
sorry,
know.
I just like don't even know at this point.
No, I
Anything
know.
else?
I mean, I don't think so. You know what, you guys?
Work tells us when we're done.
No,
I
he
think
does.
that's
But honestly, this was great. This was perfect. If you're lonely, I'm sorry. And like you're not alone in your loneliness. I don't know if that helps. I don't think it does, cuz like everybody's lonely alone but together.
Oh, you know what I was gonna say is um there's a lot of like online bulletin boards too. So like if
Oh.
there's one for Astoria, which is fun.
Oh.
Yeah.
I need to
So
look into
like for
this.
your wherever you live, there's probably an online bulletin board. So if you are like nervous about even trying to go find a community board, just
Yeah,
like start online, see what's out there, see if you can find like a safe person to like go with you to something and just like start testing the waters, Get
absolutely.
out of your house, put your phone away.
Yeah, and get offline. Oh my God. I'm going to,
Yes.
you know what? This is what I think we should say is get off of social media,
Yes.
because it's like not, I feel like the worst of the worst is on there, and it's actually like makes us feel like the world's like not a safe, nourishing place and there aren't people to connect with,
Yeah.
when really like there are. It's just we have to like
Yeah.
get out of these certain spaces that are kind of like in a way more divisive than they are supportive, and that really goes back to that thing of like how we're way more connected but way less supported, and
Yeah.
um you know, put the phone down and you'll find the support.
Absolutely.
And that's like for myself too. Like I'm not, no judgment. I need that just as much as the next person.
We needed this whole episode.
Literally, we did.
So
Kayla and I are going to be friends again. Not that we're not friends, you guys. Whoa. But I mean, like,
we will find more balance.
balance
Yeah. No, I think that's important.
and are working really, yeah,
Yeah.
because like most of the time I feel like we only see each other when we're
I know,
recording,
it's true.
which
Yeah.
is like so fun and healing.
We'll
But
report back on how
yeah,
this goes.
next episode we'll tell you how our friendship is unfolding. Thank you guys.